Bills open up the season on the road.
Mm.
Monday Night Football to see Aaron Rodgers in his new home. The Bills got a later bye, week 13 bye week. Just wanted to get your initial thoughts. J-GILLZ, you first, and then Radman. Let us know what's some of the thoughts that you saw from your vantage point of the Bills 2023 NFL schedule.
Well, I'm definitely liking the schedule. A lot of primetime games for the Buffalo Bills. Nothing else is nothing else is new. They're pretty much lived in the primetime slots over the past couple years. Huge game in London, week 4, I believe, against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who will be there their second week. They'll be playing back-to-back weeks in London. So, I thought that was a little unfair for the Bills to have to travel on a short week against the Dolphins that week 4, and then to go to, right there to London right after. I thought that was pretty bad. But overall, I think the schedule is pretty good. The big question marks here are the defense, Leslie Frazier's departure, the offense, Ken Dorsey's second year. I think the schedule is favorable, but I'm excited to see if the Bills can answer those questions.
I agree with you. To me, this is the best schedule I've seen for the Buffalo Bills in quite over 20 years. I think schedule really helps a team that's struggling to make some changes. They have veteran players. They got to fill a lot of holes. It gives them time to fill those holes, and you're not opening the season with a lot of big-time games. You open up with the Jets. The Jets going to be figuring their way. I think the Jets will be better as the season goes on with Aaron Rodgers. I think it's a good time to open the season with them. And then you have the Raiders coming in, new quarterback. Things are struggling there. Then you got the Washington Commanders, new ownership, whole 9 yards going on in that contest there. Then you have the Dolphins at home instead of going to that steamy, hot Miami. I can't believe we're not heading to Fort Lauderdale in late September, man. I've been down there the last 3-4 years. We're going to miss that late September, but we're not going to meet that stifling 100% humidity down that way. Then the Jaguars game come after that. You come home to the Giants, the Patriots. Then you even got the Buccaneers at home this year. The Bills go to the Bengals. You have the Broncos here. You get the Jets back. Then you get the Eagles. You have some really good games coming in the second half of the season, and I think the Bills can get better with their quarterback, the two tight end system. As I think the Bills will not be as good at the beginning of the season. I think they'll be better as the season go along. They're filling the holes on the defense. Who's going to be the main linebacker? Where Dorian Williams going to play? Are you going to put Matt Milano in the middle linebacker position in a hybrid type set defense, which I think is a possibility because of how well it worked last year with Milano in the middle, and put Dorian Williams on the outside and see some of these other young guys that they can get in there in there. And then my favorite thing I like the most, you get your bye week 13. Which is, I always hated the week to bye in the first 5 or 6 games because you're just trying to get yourself together. By then, hopefully hopefully the Bills won't be decimated with injuries by week 13. But by then, that'd be an excellent time for a bye. Get yourself together, give everybody a week off, heal up some of those injury guys, and get them ready for the stretch drive. To me, this is one of the best seasons. Go to Kansas City. After that, you have even more tougher games. Cowboys, you got a lot of tough games. When you get into double digits from week 10 on. So I think it's a great schedule. I think the Bills can take advantage of it and have another very good season. And I think this could lead them. This year, last year, the Bills was the team with the point. Now it looks like the Jets, with all the games they having on prime time and the whole 9 yards, I think the Jets might have that bullseye on their back this season. The Bills right there with them, right behind them. But I think Buffalo can overcome it and not only make the playoffs, but put a serious Super Bowl run coming this year. Especially if Von Miller comes back around Thanksgiving time. Oh, man, I think that would be great around week 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there around Thanksgiving. You get Von Miller back. You get that defense even more solidified. And I think that, hey, there you go. Get a stretch run. Get a Super Bowl run going, and I think the Bills may not be the favorite, but hey, I think they'll come in there and do quite well with a defensive team and a bit more balanced offense. Get the ball out of Josh Allen's hands, run the football, play action passes, screen passes, draw plays. I think you'll see a much better rounded offensive season this coming year. That's what I'm expecting, guys.
Yeah, now to me that you hit a lot of great points. Rad man, I see. Hey, I can tell I'm doing something right because those are some things that I thought about. First thing I thought about New England too, and Buffalo. Neither one are seeing Miami in that hot steamer Miami Gardens in September. So that's an interesting little quirk to the schedule. But I also would say though is the middle of the season, that physicality, that extra game. Man, I think New England, they're going to struggle on offense like normal, but Bill Belichick just will not get the offense right. They had one season with that, and you get a top receiver. Who would have thought you might have a chance to go 18-1? Even though they did lose Randy Moss that 07 season when they had a top receiver. Bill Belichick just will not do that. He traded Jacoby Myers basically in for Juju Smith-Schuster, paying the same amount of money as a free agent. Didn't understand that. But anyway, New England defense that y'all played, the middle part of the season, I'm fascinated to see how the Bills elevated. You guys are flying under the radar right now, Buffalo. Buffalo gets a chance to really not be the hunter or the hunted right now. Right now, they can kind of lay low, somewhat the hunted, but they also can be the hunters as well. So that middle of the season, October 22nd, then they turn around and play a Thursday night against Tampa Bay. That defense is physical, and I'm speaking particularly the physicality, I think, of this middle part of the season, especially with these defenses. New England defense, Tampa Bay's defense, Cincinnati's defense. We saw them push Buffalo around on offense and defense. Denver's defense is physical. The Jets defense will be physical. And then you get the Eagles. That to me is the gauntlet of the season. Will let us know if the Bills are pretenders, championship level, division just level teams. We'll really get a chance to really see more about who the Bills actually are through that middle part of the season, October 22nd through Thanksgiving, November the 26th when they play the Eagles. That to me was the biggest outliers of the schedule, the biggest illuminating part between that part of the schedule and then not having to play Miami early in the season like normal.
Absolutely, fellas. I think that will be the big story coming up. You go to the Chargers late in the season, go out west. The Bills are home a lot more conveniently this year than they were in the last couple of years. No Thanksgiving game this year. Thank goodness, don't have to be on the road on Thanksgiving for Bills home or away game. Being in New Orleans and the Dallas and years gone by, they missed that holiday. But hey, you got a lot of good games in there, and very few 1:00 games, later games for Bills fans this year.